Hi everyone, how are you doing tonight? So, just had another call. Actually, I wanted to say, I just picked up your little nephew the other day, and he told me I just had to contact you, and you were going to give me $50 to look after my gas and my time, and that if I drove over there, you'd give me another $25. But if not, you could just send me some gift cards, and everything will be just great. Do you get these kind of calls? I have been registered. I get call after call after call about winning trips, about winning airfare. But the latest ones have been really bad, and everybody's getting them. I just heard one recently that the person had hired someone to come in and do some work in her house, and they stole all her medications and her drugs out of the house, like legal drugs, like medication drugs. And anyways, so how can we protect ourselves? What can we be more aware of in order to avoid these? Because I know there's ones for the CRA tax, there's police, there are endless ones that they keep coming up with. They're so smart to come up with all these different things instead of just putting their effort into working and getting an honest dollar like the rest of us people. So some of the tips I found, I already knew about being registered on the government site for the Do Not Call list, but there's some more. So one of the the tips that I found was don't trust your caller ID. And that is because it can be spoofed, which means, and I have had this happen to me. I've called myself trying to sell myself something. You have to be careful that they are using a local phone number to call other people. And it's one of these things that sometimes they can make themselves look like the government. They can also make it look like the local police station. So anything that is asking for money, either that in Bitcoin or gift cards, it's definitely not anything from the government, because the government's not going to ask for cash over the phone like that. And you even have to be careful some of the mail stuff that you get that appears to be real government things but isn't. So make sure you just look it over really well and make sure it's actually a real government form. So you can register again, I mentioned, on the Do Not Call list, and you can find that at www.intne-dncl.gc.ca or call 1-866-580-3625. That can get you registered on the Do Not Call list in Canada. And it helps because I think it filters out quite a few. So when these calls come in, remember, don't disclose any personal information. You can also take and, maybe put them off for a bit, take the number down, and then do a search on the number to make sure it's an actual business, in case you were interested in what they might be offering and to see that they're offering something that's actually legitimate. I found some other tips through the United States, which had said that if a number says to hit a number in order to stop getting the calls, and I'm sure you've also been a victim of that too. It says hit 1 or hit 2 if you wish to be put on the Do Not Call list. It says don't actually do that. Just hang up, because sometimes they use that as a filter to identify potential targets. Don't respond to any questions, especially those requiring a yes answer, because they may use that, tape it, and use it that you are agreeing to something, and that could put a lot of charges on you. Refuse to give any personal information, absolutely anything, your social insurance number, any of those type of things that they're asking for over the phone, don't do it. Use caution if you are being pressured for information immediately. So if they're really pushing you for something and you're starting to feel flustered or pressured or hurt, or you start getting that tense feeling inside, and you're thinking, oh no, I gotta do this. Slow yourself down, take a deep breath, and say, no, let me just check on this first before I give you this information. You don't have to answer anything on the phone. If it's something that's really important, if it's actually a real doctor's office or actual real government, they're going to call you back and they're going to have the same number. They're going to be the same person. It's not going to be somebody different because you're assigned usually to a case person. So just be really careful. So I also found out that some phones, like the latest iPhone, there's a feature on there that you can silence unknown callers. I also found that on my telephone, which I have one of the Galaxy, I think I have the S8 or something like that. And if you go down on some of this, I have a bug here. You can actually click on it and say that if you don't know this number, not to receive it. As well, some local service providers may have a call blocking tools or app. Then there's apparently also apps that block calls. So I also found out in March of this year, in India, they took down and charged 60 different scammers. There was a large takedown, so that was pretty cool to know. They also, the information I was also looking at said that the CRTC is working really hard for solutions for this because it's really a big issue. You can also check as well on the crtc.gc.ca, which is close to the other one I gave you, and look under the summary of options currently available to Canadians to manage unwanted calls. And what you're going to find there is you're going to find along the top there's a headline of things where it says blocking or filtering unwanted calls, and it's going to say there's calling features, how it stops, the name of the provider, then the name of the option, the platform, and the price. So I looked for my local area, and we do have HuronTel listed as one of the providers. And it says that it can do an anonymous rejection call on wireline. So some are available on wireline as well as VoIP. And it didn't give charges because you're probably going to have to, call your local provider and ask them. And it likely is a service that you would have to pay for, of course. So, another tip, if it says, I did that one, pardon me. Just making sure that I cover all of them. So, to recap, don't give any personal information. Don't answer anything that would require a yes. Don't feel pressured. Just take your time. Remember not to hit 1 or 2 or whatever it says to opt out of the calls. Just hang up. Use caution if you're being pressured. And don't give any money. No matter what, do not give them any money because that's their whole game. If they can pressure you into giving you money, it can lead to further identity thefts, emptying your bank accounts, whatever. Don't give them an inch, as the old saying goes. So watch out, everybody. This is the time of year due to the holiday seasons and Christmas coming up that it seems that there's even more of this kind of illegal, what's the words I'm looking for? Why am I always lost for words? Not just illegal, it is illegal, but scamming people, those that are dishonest, they're looking to get a fast dollar instead of working for their dollars. So be careful. Take some of those things. Go to the website, get yourself registered, and if you really have a lot of troubles, see if you can afford to have those extra features where it's just going to get rid of those extra calls right away. I got a extra flash here coming in from somewhere. Off my glasses, maybe. There we go. So I hope that was helpful. Remember to follow and. If you find this of value, I am definitely not a fluent presenter, and I apologize for that. This is just me as I am, and I don't know how much I'll improve, but maybe I will. But if you find value, please sprinkle this about with your friends and family, and because I hope to have other videos that keep doing. Sorry, I'm getting lost now. Because I normally do stuff about Lime life, and that is my new passion in life right at the moment. Having professional makeup that works and feels great and looks great. Actually, you can't even tell by on the camera today that I have any on, but I look better than if I don't have any on at the same time. So, again, be very careful with these calls. And the other thing is just don't answer. Let the your answering machine pick it up. And if there's a person there that is real, that is not scamming you, they'll leave a message. I find that that's actually a good filtering system as well. So, hope this was helpful to you. Have a wonderful night and weekend, as it is Friday night. And keep yourselves warm and dry, and happy shoveling if you have to do some more shoveling. Maybe this is going to stay. Maybe we'll get a little more fall-like weather before the winter hits. Who knows? Anyways, hope this wasn't too long, and I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to say have a wonderful evening and good night, and thank you for watching. And if you do watch and see this again and see the replay, please let me know where you're watching from. Don't be shy. I know I was watching a long time without saying anything for some, but appreciate knowing where you are from, and if I can help you, please reach out. I'd be definitely happy to give you a hand in anything that you need, especially in skincare and makeup. And that's it. Have a great night. Bye, y'all.